Conservatives are upset because the philanthropic arm of Chick-fil-A is no longer going to give money to organizations that have an anti-LGBT stance. Now, this is very different from the approach that Chick-fil-A has taken in the past. They had no problem doing philanthropic work with those types of groups in the past. And as we know, Dan Cathy, the CEO, had said some terrible things about gay marriage, which led to a boycott of Chick-fil-A. Now, I don't know why they're taking a different approach. It might be to like maybe revamp their image. But nonetheless, you have all of these ridiculous right-wingers up in arms about a decision that Chick-fil-A made. So Chick-fil-A Foundation will deepen its giving to a smaller number of organizations working exclusively in areas of education, homelessness, and hunger. So that was part of the press release that they put out there. And the Salvation Army and some of the Christian groups that they've worked with are no longer listed, right? And so you have people like Mike Huckabee who are very upset about this, very upset. Huckabee wrote via Twitter, in August of 2012, I coordinated a national Chick-fil-A appreciation day. Wow, very bold, good work. After they were being bullied by militant hate groups, millions showed up. Okay, let's pause for a second. The militant hate groups that he's referring to are individuals who were dismayed at the anti-gay stance that the company's CEO had taken. So the group A was not militant and B was against hate against the LGBT community.
What does he think the word militant means?
He's just trying
to fearmonger. He likes literal militias, but he thinks that like a group of gay people who don't want a chicken place discriminate against them are militant.
It's just so dumb. All of it is dumb.
And I want to see some receipts on millions showed up. If he was involved, I don't think it was that popular.
Either way, this whole thing is dumb.
You know what he's doing there? He's just saying that day at Chick-fil-A, millions of people shop there. I think that's what he's saying, which is just, yeah, it's a popular chicken place.
His daughter spent the last few years of her career defending a fascist president. So I don't, like nothing he says is relevant to me. But it's the reason why I bring up his tweet is so we can laugh at him because this is such a dumb thing to be up in arms about. The rest of his tweet said, today Chick-fil-A betrayed loyal customers for money. I regret believing they would stay true to convictions of founder Truett Cathy.
Betrayed loyal customers
for
money. It's not a charity, it's a chicken place. Yeah, they want money. That's why, they're not giving those sandwiches away, right? You gotta buy them.
I know, I mean, isn't this the free market? Isn't this capitalism?
No, if you, from their point of view, if you start discriminating against a group, you are betraying your customers if you ever stop. Why would a chicken place choose a group to, it would be like if like Long John Silver's donated to a group that felt like the Vietnamese have too many rights. Like that's weird, you make soup and fish, why are you doing that? Okay, why is a chicken place discriminating against gay people?
Have you ever been to a Long John?
It'd be like if like Howard Johnson's was like, damn Canadians. Why do you have an issue with the Canadians?
I don't know.
Make your fried clams.
Yeah. So let me give you more, okay? When it comes to the intellectual dark web, they had much to say about this as well. Ben Shapiro shared his thoughts via Twitter. Chick-fil-A has survived and thrived because they served everyone and refused to cater to cancel culture. Now they've caved at the behest of the censorious left. No, but hold on for a second. You can't call the left censorious when you're upset at Chick-fil-A, a private business, making a decision about the philanthropic arm of their company. Like, why are you upset about this? I don't understand why it's an issue. And then,
so what about when Nike did their Kaepernick ad? What were they just like? Well, you know what? It's not for me, but I respect their right as a private organization to do whatever they want with their money. No, and the thing is, I think we should have. I believe that I have a consistent standard. I think that if a company is doing a good thing, it's good, and if they're doing a bad thing, it's bad. They can do whatever they want with their money hypothetically, and I can like some of it and dislike other stuff. But they're trying to pretend that they have some sort of like concrete standard that they apply, but they're not. They like some and they don't like others. It's the same thing as the PC thing. It's pretending that it's an objective standard when it's not. It's just being applied against one group.
Can we just note that they're more upset over this Chick-fil-A story than migrant asylum seekers dying in cages at the border. Like, they don't care about human lives, but they will be up in arms about philanthropic work that Chick-fil-A is doing. And then finally, my favorite, there's Dave Rubin, who said via Twitter, the decision makes absolutely no sense. Chick-fil-A was actually cool because it stood up to the progressive mind versus, the progressive mind virus, which is cancel culture. I'm not going back to that sad, dry, pathetic Burger King chicken sandwich. No way, no how. Back to the home-cooked frying pan. I don't even know what that tweet means, but he's basically upset that Chick-fil-A.
He's not very clever.
I know. Well, I mean, that's obvious.
Unfortunate.
But he's now moved. He realized, okay, this whole thing of trying to position myself as someone on the left who's critical of the left, it's not good enough anymore. That game.
Is he still pretending that he's on the left somehow?
Actually, I don't know.
I don't think so.
But like now he's gone further where he's like, hey everybody, I'm gay and I'm willing to be anti-gay. I want people to call me the F word. I want, and so this is the latest example of that. But I just want to remind you all that before the Koch brother money started flowing in, this is who Dave Rubin really was. This is 7 years ago. And it was at a time when mayors refused to allow Chick-fil-A's to open in their towns over their anti-LGBT stance. And let's listen to what Dave Rubin had to say about those mayors.
I believe in free speech, and I believe that Dan Cathy is welcome to say what he wants. Okay. And I believe that the gay community at the same point is welcome to say what they want. So if they want to jump on social media, if they want to
no problem with the gay community opposing Mr. Cathy's point of view. So, problem is public policy, these guys threatening the company.
So there are issues related to the mayors in these towns. So in Philadelphia and Boston, if those mayors want to put their butts on the line and say, I do not want Chick-fil-A here, I actually honor them for having a stand. I mean, that's what we want all the time. Isn't that what we want?
Honor that kind of fascism? No, I don't want fascism.
But don't you want politicians who say what they believe? So if they believe this, they're taking the risk, no?
Hey, Mao Zedong said what he believed. Joseph Stalin said what he believed. Do I want politicians saying crazy fascist stuff?
I don't know. I'm not quite on that comparison with you.
It's fascism for these guys to say, you can't come into my town if I disagree with your political view. That's fascism.
Well, first off, what they're saying is that they don't want them there.
So back in the day, Dave Rubin had no problem defending those mayors who wanted to prevent Chick-fil-A from opening in their town, right?
I think he's suffering from the progressive mind virus.
Right, so now he refers to the free speech that he had no problem protecting back then as a progressive mind virus.
And by the way, it's so bizarre. I didn't know that he was doing Bill O'Reilly that long ago. I don't know what the six-pack was. I mean, he's totally reshaped himself on all of his many attempts to get some sort of audience, so God only knows what it was back then.
Yeah.
But like the level of analysis that you got from Dave Rubin was, I think it's good when politicians say things, and it's been 7 years.
Yeah.
And at least he seems to have learned a little bit. Now he just lets people come on and talk about like racial IQ theories, and he just says, because he knows that if he interjects, he's gonna sound like an idiot. But it's not just, like you said earlier, he's willing to speak out effectively against the LGBT community, implying that them having a problem with a major corporation discriminating against them is a bad thing. It's that he had to. He could not let this story come out and him not show that he's willing to speak out against the LGBT community.
Right.
That's what his role is in this movement. You can call part of it the intellectual dark web or whatever. It's just the right wing. He has to show that he's willing to attack that group.
Right, and I think calling it a movement is too strong. It's not a movement. What this is, and I want everyone to be super aware of it because I see it all over the place. Look, it's a tough media landscape, right? It's difficult to succeed. It's especially difficult to succeed if you don't really have much to offer, like Dave Rubin. But I see like pandering to bad actors everywhere, right? Dave Rubin is an extreme example of that. But just like this, like people will find a niche audience and they will cater to that audience to the death. And it doesn't matter if, let's say, a public figure or a politician who appeals to that audience does something wrong, you can't call that politician out. You can't call that public figure out. You have to turn a blind eye to any and all wrongdoing by that individual in order to cater to this specific niche. I see it everywhere, and it's so frustrating because look, if you tell the truth about what's going on, everyone hates you, right? Let's say with the primaries. If you do an honest critique of the candidates, I mean, even if
there's no incentive to do that, really.
There isn't, exactly.
People
That's
think
a good
that
point,
there is.
because everything is so specialized, and the news industry has become so oversaturated with people looking to turn a profit.
And look, with Chick-fil-A, it's possible that they're finally responding to the public outcries about their donating to these groups. It's also possible that they started as a relatively regional chicken place that had this Christian thing about them. And so donating to the Salvation Army was helpful in attracting that audience. Now they're trying to be a national chain. It's no longer helpful, so they're stopping. So it's likely that it was just capitalism then and it's capitalism now.
It's a good point.
I just think it's really weird for a food place to discriminate against people. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, it's a bad business decision, which is probably why they're going in a different direction.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.